Hey guys, it's Dean. You know, I love to run every day. I don't take days off. And it's not because I'm terribly concerned with a running streak, but it's because I know me. If I take one day off, I'll think, well, 2 days won't hurt, and then it'll be a week, and then it'll be 2 weeks. But Dean, I thought you loved to run. I do, but I can also be a path of least resistance guy. Forcing myself to fit a run into my day means that I will plan to find time. And so I do. And of course, I never regret it. You know, at one point, I had been running every day for over 5.5 years. That's roughly 2,000 days in a row. And then I got the flu. Now, you might think the flu would bring that streak down, but you would be wrong. I ran every day that week. Admittedly, it was mostly 1 mile runs, which is the minimum you can run and count it as a day when you're streaking. It would take me 15 minutes to cover that mile on my treadmill, and then I would sit on the side of my treadmill for 20 minutes just trying to recover from that traumatic mile that I just ran. I made it through the flu. And then by that Saturday, I began to feel much better. And so I took to the roads for a kind of a weak feeling, but a much needed 6 miler. And I felt like I was back. But then that Monday morning at 4 a.m., I awoke and I sat straight up in my bed. And I thought, oh no, I had forgotten to run on Sunday. What? How do you forget to run when you've been doing it every day for over 5 years? It would have been great if I had an excuse, but the truth is I was doing yard work, and I remember thinking that day that I had to run later, but I never did. Now I had a problem. So what do you do with problems? Well, you fix them. So I began to brainstorm how could I get myself out of this situation. And I thought, well, if I get up now at 4 a.m., then I have technically not gotten up for the day, and I could count it as Sunday. But no, that wouldn't work because I'd always been pretty adamant that you had to run within that 24-hour window of that actual day. That wouldn't work. And I didn't matter what time it was somewhere else either. I couldn't count Hawaii time, for example. That would be dishonest. And then I thought, well, no one will know. Nobody's going to ask. Don't ask, don't tell, right? No, that was just dishonest. I was hung. Really nothing that I could do about it. It was a big bummer. But my next thought came straight from God. I thought, okay, God, what are you trying to show me through this semi-painful experience? And he answered me. You see, I've often asked myself the question, am I too obsessed with running? It would have been easy for somebody from the outside to take a look at me and think, running is awfully important to him. It sure looks like running has become a false god to him. I had to be careful that running didn't become a god in my life when you're doing it every day, and that becomes important. But in that instant, I realized what God was telling me, and this is what he was saying. He was saying, it's okay. I know I'm more important than running to you, and I also know that you love to run. And furthermore, I made you to be a runner. He's saying, go run and don't feel guilty about it. Enjoy it as the gift that I have given you. You see what God did in an instant? He took away the anxiety of a situation that I couldn't do anything about. And then he made sense of it the very second that I handed it over to him. As I lay there, I praised him quietly for a few minutes at 4 o'clock in the morning. And then I drifted back to sleep. Still took me a couple of days before I said to my wife, I have something to tell you. I could read the panic in her face as I told her what had happened, and she calmed down and realized that what I was telling her was not a big deal, and she was relieved. And yeah, she actually felt bad for me after I told her what had happened, until I told her what God had revealed to me. I have a great wife too. You know, today I'm going to go for a run, and it will mark 7 years minus 1 day of running. And just recently it dawned on me that, you know, there are thousands of people in the world who have run every day for over 5 years, just like I did. But I may be the only person in the world who has run every day for the last 7 years, except for one. You know, I may miss the day after my 11th year on purpose, you know, just to keep the pattern going. We'll see. Anyway, go out and find out what God is trying to tell you, and go shine your light. Now, let's go for a run.